Welcome to the full moon meditation for January the 17th. It will be a full moon at 5:48 p.m. Central Time Zone. I'm Martin Dowman.
And I'm Sunny Dowman. And this full moon is going to be, the sun is in the sign of Capricorn, and the moon will be, and is right now even, at the time of this recording, the moon is in Cancer, which is a lovely place. The moon likes to be in Cancer. That is home for the moon. So I'm just diving right into the astrological weather, obviously. And so with Sun in Capricorn, this is about structure and about creating systems for ourselves to be out in the world. And Cancer, moon in Cancer, is very much supportive of our emotional inner life. So Sun in Capricorn, the outer, moon in Cancer, the inner. And the interesting thing about this time period is, if you haven't already been told, Mercury is retrograde. Venus is also retrograde still. So that Venus is retrograde is about a 40-day period. Mercury is retrograde for about 3 weeks. So during this full moon, we have 2 retrogrades happening. This does not mean dig a hole and just hide for until those are over, but it does mean that we want to slow down and be very intentional in our actions, especially pertaining to communication, technology, relationships, because this is a time when we are naturally, things don't flow usually as well as they normally do, and so we're a little more prone to mismatches in terms of those topics. So if we know that we still want to do something in the means of communication or recording a meditation, for example, we want to slow down and do that in a very intentional way, and be certain of our forward direction that we want to take. So there's a few other little things about this full moon. Pluto is very, very close to the sun. Both still in Capricorn, of course. And so, there's an additional, Pluto adds always an additional level of intensity to whatever is happening. And so this might actually be a fairly deep emotional time for those of us who are so inclined, with placements in our natal chart that indicate that this is touching on. That's a lot. I feel like that's enough. It's a good time to slow down and be very careful about what we're doing, because things can, if we're not careful, they can spin out of control. So let's take some time. Let's do some meditation. Let's bring ourselves back to center and, hopefully help set a good tone for this full moon. If you have anything in your hands, set it aside. If you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes and return back to your breath, that constant that is with us throughout our life, the thing that we can always, when things are not going the way we want, we can always stop and take a breath. And start again. And so as we connect deeply with our breath, feeling that flow in and we just take a moment to notice our bodies in space as we are in this moment, and we can feel perhaps there's a piece of furniture supporting our body. We may feel the places where our body is coming into contact with other surfaces. Our legs, our feet, the bottom of our feet perhaps on the floor or on the ground. And as we notice the way that our body is interacting with the environment around us, we can turn our focus to our feet and the way that we can envision roots coming out of the bottoms of our feet, just like we do every time we think about roots coming out and grounding down into the ground. This is a beautiful image to bring ourselves back to anytime we feel like we're up in our heads and floating away. We can notice our feet on the ground, send some quick roots down into the ground like we do right now, and we use that visualization and send those roots down to anchor ourselves into the ground, seeking out moisture, nourishment, energy. Now that we are firmly rooted, we can bring energy up through those roots and into our physical bodies. And so I would invite you to do that and allow that energy to permeate up through the soles of your feet, up into your legs, your thighs, and your hips, where that energy encounters your root chakra. This root chakra is the energy of Mars. The color is red, and it is the energy of I deserve to be here. This is the energy of the newborn baby who only knows that it needs what it needs. This is also the energy of sexuality and just our human / animal drives. And so we allow that chakra, that root energy, to be infused with this energy from Mother Earth that we are drawing up. And then we allow that energy to rise a little bit farther to just about the belly button. This is the sacral chakra. This is the energy of Venus. It's the energy of creativity, generativity. It's the energy of pleasure. The color is orange. And we invite and ask and allow the energy from Mother Earth to infuse our sacral chakra. And then allowing that energy to rise farther, we encounter the solar plexus chakra, which is just at the level of the rib cage. This is the source of what we call our gut wisdom, that knowing, that sense of knowing that we have just deep within our bodies. This is the energy of the sun. The color is yellow. And we gratefully acknowledge the infusion of energy from Mother Earth as that encounters the solar plexus chakra. And we can feel that energy infusing into our centers. Allowing that energy to rise a little farther, we come to the level of the heart. This is the energy of the moon. The color is green. And this is our emotional center. This is where we feel our feelings, whatever they are. We know from life experience that we, in opening up our heart and allowing ourselves to feel our feelings, we need to feel all of our feelings. The so-called good ones and the so-called bad ones. Because to shut off some of our feelings from our heart center means that we shut off all of our feelings. So we can envision that heart opening, we can envision that chakra spinning, and the energy from Mother Earth infusing and filling and healing all of those energy centers. And asking and allowing that energy to rise a little bit farther, we encounter the throat chakra. The throat chakra is the energy of Mercury. It's the energy of communication. It's our ability to speak our truth. The color is blue. And we allow and ask the energy of Mother Earth to infuse and strengthen this chakra, this ability for us to speak and say the things that we need to say. And rising, allowing that energy to rise further, we encounter the third eye chakra. And this is the energy of Saturn. This is the energy of discernment, of seeing the truth and knowing the truth for ourselves. The color here is indigo blue, a very deep blue. And we can feel and allow that energy from Mother Earth, which has been rising up through our physical bodies the entire way, encountering and enriching this chakra and allowing us to have the strengths and the powers that Saturn and the third eye chakra give us. And then last, we allow that energy to rise up to the crown of our head, where we encounter the energy of Jupiter and the crown chakra. This is the place where we encounter generosity and where we connect with the greater, the wider world, the divine essence, with our angels and guardians and guides. Say that again. This is the place where we encounter the greater, the divine, the larger spiritual energies that are available for us. This is where we connect with our guides and guardians and guardian angels. And as we feel that energy come up to the top of our heads, filling our physical body full of energy, we allow and ask that energy to come out through the top of our head and do what it's intended to do, which is connect. And we allow this energy to come up and connect and go straight up, as though we were part of a wire, a divine circuit between the earth and the universe. We can feel that energy flow. And if we pay attention, we can feel it flow the other direction as well. We allow ourselves to be a conduit of this energy. And if we haven't already, we use this moment to call in our guides and our guardians, angels, ascended beings, ancestors, including and especially acknowledging the ancestors of the native tribes where we are located at this moment, and acknowledging their presence.
As we go deeper into this meditative state, we allow ourselves to release anything that might be holding tension. I invite you to take a deep breath deep into the belly. And acknowledge the process that we are going into with this full moon. A full moon, as it gets to this point, is a point of release, and we begin to let go of things that are not necessary for us at this time. So let's breathe in that full moon energy deep in the belly and release. We acknowledge the process that we are in the midst of in this full moon release, and awaken to the awareness, the intention of making wise choices during this time, allowing ourselves to let go of the energies that may not be serving, and also to be aware of the energies that are flowing from us, and our intention to acknowledge them. With all of the powerful retrogrades that are going on, we also realize that we are reviewing and releasing and allowing ourselves to be conscious of the way in which we are showing up. So listen deeply to your heart right now as we take this moment in the silence. Allow the heart to be aware, to be compassionate, to listen deeply, not only to ourselves, but to those around us. We awaken in this process to a deeper level of truth and connection, as we know we are in every way connected to everything. Using this, we allow ourselves to be a part of a very powerful network that is reaching out at this very time to awaken to what it is that needs to be released, and also aware of each step that we take as we move down this path, it is lit by the moon. It allows us to see as the reflection of the sun comes off of the moon's surface. It lights up the night. It lights up our hearts. It provides the energy to release and to awaken in all kinds of ways that each one of us has. We acknowledge this love in that energy of connection, and also acknowledge the love as we release things. Much as the wavelengths of the light that is bounced off of the moon at this time, we too are vibrating at a light level and being aware of that energy and that vibration. We can see ourselves, we can see the people around us. And with all the retrogrades going on, we also see how to show up in this time, in this space. As we meet with other people and connect deeply, we honor them without judgment, without fear. We simply show up. And now we'll move into a time of toning, creating the vibration from each one of us in connection with the universe, and feeling the universe receiving that vibration. We are certain of the connection of all things. And so we begin by making a tone. And it doesn't matter what that tone is for you. I invite you to just be aware of that vibration in your body and how it echoes out in the room you're in or the space that you're in, and how it then travels throughout the universe. And so I invite you to take a deep breath in, and we begin. Breathe in again, and we will tone again. And once more. Acknowledge the vibration moving. Feel the release. Honor yourself in this process. And now I invite you to return to this space when you're ready by wiggling your toes or your fingers, maybe your shoulders or your neck, just to be aware of the physicality of where we are, wherever that is. And we take a deep breath in and release. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. It is a deep honor to get to be with you at this time, to bring these to you. It is a joy to be here.
So the next lunation will be a new moon, and that will be on January 31st of 2022. If you're enjoying these meditations, and if you're wondering how these changes in the universe and the placement of planets and the aspects that are happening, how that's affecting you personally, I would love to chat with you. Please get a hold of me at sunnysastrology.com, and you and I can sit down and talk about your personal chart and what's happening in your chart and in your world. So I would love to do that with you.
And recently I have put out to the universe that I am going to be a personal coach and a spiritual companion to people that are looking for that connection of going deeply and being heard deeply. And if you're interested in that, you can go to martindauman.com and see a little bit more about that. And so,
In the meantime,
yeah,
we say
namaste.
Namaste. Be well.